welcome back to another episode of the Double D podcast. We are joined by my two favorite co-hosts. We got a random nerd, we got a epic kitty face in the building. I'm excited for another pod. We got episode 4 coming for you guys on the way. Yes, that's right. I said episode 4. Last episode, we might have said episode 4, but it was only episode 3 because a video got corrupted, so I wasn't able to upload an episode. So, this is episode 4. We're coming at you guys live. Well, I mean, I guess not really live, but you know what I mean. Also, we're going to take another little direction these next few pods. We're going to kind of test out the waters. I think we're going to do 30-minute little pods. We're going to keep one section focused on news and just kind of reviewing stuff like main, like pop culture shows like Star Wars and, you know, live action shows coming out. And we're going to do that with Kevo. And then we're going to do anime with Epic Kitty Face and stuff like that on the next 30-minute pod. But this one, we're going to focus on Percy Jackson. Me and Kevo just finished that. Kel still has to watch it, but...
Now that I know I have Disney Plus on my Xbox, I literally have no reason not to watch it now. I just didn't know that you had signed in for me.
For the first couple minutes, I'm going to say at least 5 to 10. Me and Kevo are going to give our each non-spoiler review about it. And then after that... if you guys want to continue watching, there will be spoilers on the show since it just came out. I will say that. I know some haven't gone around to watch it. But for the last half of the episode, there will be spoilers. Just warning you guys right now. And I will let you guys know before we get into the spoilers as well. So, first, Kevo, you wanna give your quick little rundown review and rating on it?
Percy Jackson, I find it enjoyable, but will it be memorable? That'll be the tough question with these day and age, with these Disney Plus shows, where it's cool to watch, and then 6 months down the line, like, do I remember anything? Which will be a good testament if I ever want to rewatch a show. I give it a good solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. Solid enough where there's good acting, there's good music choices, good end credit scenes. Holy crap, I love those art animations at the end of each credits. And the music that goes on it, beautifully done. You don't get that with these shows anymore. So I give it credit where credit's due. Every young actor in the show, I think they play the characters fantastic. Considering not many kid actors can pull off a show like this, especially a big budget show like this. So 7.5 or 8 out of 10.
You know, I'd have to agree with you there. I said it was 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, I thought it was very solid. I thought the acting was good for what it was. I thought that the music choices, like you were saying, was amazing. I just think that it could have been a little bit more flourished. You know, the storytelling could have been a little bit better. But in my overall, like, non-spoiler review, I think this has potential for a good season 2 and a good season 3, depending on where they want to go with it. And I kind of hope that they go and they bring in a little bit more detail on some things coming into the next seasons, because I feel like I haven't seen the first movie, and I haven't, like, in a long time, and I haven't read the Percy Jackson book in a very long time. So pretty much a lot of my knowledge is coming off of that movie, which kind of sucks because I know that movie did a very poor adaptation. But
it was still memorable for you.
Yes,
which lasted a long time.
That's where I'm. But yeah, coming back into it, we had a little bit of an issue, so we took a little pause and coming back. Sorry about that, everyone watching the pod. We were talking about non-spoiler reviews of the show, and we were talking about how memorable it'd be. I do believe that's where we left off, right, Kevo? And I have to agree. I feel like 6 months from now, I might have to rewatch it type shit if I really wanted to. You know, and there's some moments that I do remember, and I probably will remember, but, like, it's definitely one of those shows where I'm like, fuck, what actually happened in that show? I might have to rewatch it type shit. And it's kind of sad, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not, like, too upset at the show. It could have been a lot worse, but it honestly could have been a lot better, you know, in some aspects of it. I feel like the CGI in some of the scenes could have been better with the day and age and technology we have.
I will say, um, this is my point of view from watching a lot of media over the years and studying the CGI from a kind of like filming wise for me, and my own takes on stuff. Um, don't shoot CGI during the daytime. It's just it never goes well. Never goes well. That's all I gotta say. It never goes well during the day.
No,
That's why most shoots when you do CGI, you do it at night so you can hide all the blemishes.
all the blemishes, and it's like unless you don't have a high budget either. You know what I mean? If you have a high budget, yeah, no problem, go ahead. But like, a lot of these, smaller shows don't really have that like
Don't.
huge of a budget to get as much CGI as they should. You know?
Oh, can I also say, um, the practical effects on the show really good too.
Yeah, no,
When
one
they're
hundred percent.
when
I'd have to agree.
es- especially during the last episode with I believe Ares at at the location at the beginning of the episode 8.
Right.
Very cool. Love that. That could literally be a cool like art piece when they're moving around.
Yeah. And definitely another thing, like one more. This blunt's hit me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey man, it happens sometimes. One more thing before I like start saying some positives about it, because there was some goods, but I don't want to act like I'm bashing it so much with such a high review. Those random black cutscenes did not do it for me. There were so many of them, and it just didn't. I don't. Hey, we're at a day and age where you can transitionally smooth scenes without a black screen. You know?
Here's my thing. They might do that because they might play it at ABC. So I think last year we had a chance where Miss Marvel, the TV show, was aired on ABC.
Okay.
So they might. So I think for Disney to earn more money, here's my thing. They might start playing these shows on their channel to get like some advertisements
That
in.
makes sense. That makes a lot of sense,
They did
actually.
they did it for Miss Marvel, so I believe they can do it for this.
Okay.
So I think those black. I think I've noticed it. I think they're in Ahsoka too. I
Yeah.
think there was some black
Yeah.
cuts as well. And I'm like, what? I'm like, could they just be doing it so they could air it later when if there's like a strike or something, or if they have no content, they could just easily post it on the ABC channel. That's just my purview on that.
Okay. Then that's the case. It makes sense. But, it's just like if I don't have that knowledge or if that's not the case, you know, it's
Like
just
why?
why? It's just kind of useless in my opinion, And that'd be like the only last thing. There was a lot of good, or I guess one more thing. There could have been a little bit more fighting scenes, in the book.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna bring up. A lot of talking, maybe like in total, maybe there's like 4 minutes of fighting, maybe three.
Yeah, and there's not a lot.
No, and here's my thing. I like Moon Knight. Moon Knight had the same issue as an action-packed show. It had Moon Knight fight for like 5 minutes.
And it's like, with a show like Percy Jackson or a book, a series like that, there is a lot of fighting in the book, from what I remember, and it's kind of. I know they're kids, but you still could have had a lot like longer fighting scenes, you
It
know.
could, it could be because of child labor laws. Maybe they don't want them getting hurt. That's why they have
True.
to do That's why in the movies, I mean, when they're the teenagers who were actually played by like 21-year-olds at
Yeah,
the
they
time,
were
or
old. They were
25-year-olds,
old as hell.
yeah, playing high schoolers. They were adults, so they didn't have to like you know child safety laws
That
for
makes
for
sense.
movies.
That makes sense. But there was good though. The story was was good for the most part. You understood what was going on. The character, I think every character that was casted was done well. I think that the what like you were saying, the practical effects and all that done amazing. The location, like every single location, you know, like Hades, Mount Olympus, the camp, all of that, amazing. How it's pretty much you know, like what it's supposed to be, you know, and you know, my favorite scene. I think this is starting to get into the spoilers. So, spoiler warning, you guys. We're gonna start going into each episode, and we're gonna do our favorite moment, and then we're gonna kind of not break down, but like go over one, two, kind of the episodes in a way, in spoiler fashion, and from what we remember, you know, because me and Kevo watched the first 3 episodes 4 weeks
The first
ago.
four. We watched the
Well,
first
yeah, we
four
watched the
episodes.
first 4 episodes like 4 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So our memory might be a little fogged, but
I got one person, and I think you and me could agree who we like the best.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about too. And so yeah, spoiler review, everyone. If you guys want to end it here, go ahead. If you guys want to listen to spoilers, it is not my fault if I spoil it for you because I warned you, every single fucking person. So you cannot come at me. All right, time to get into it. Let's just do episode 1 through 4 through what we remember, Kevo. Kind of review. What did we feel? What did we like? What we didn't like? All of it.
The introduction of Percy Jackson, how he keeps seeing the world of monsters and his real life, question himself, and I didn't like the stepdad, which was perfect. When you don't like a character, that means the actor's doing good. The stepdad,
Yes.
so that's a contingency where, like, if I don't like the character, that means the actor's doing a good job.
He was casted very well, I think, and he played a very good part, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like he was based off the books, from what I remember. Like he was that shitty stepdad that Percy had. I like him. I liked him a lot, even though I hated him as a character. His poor Mustang.
yeah. What must freaking liar,
Bro,
my Mustang.
when he said that, I was like, what is going on right now?
That
Bro,
ratty ass bag.
how did you like go ahead.
Also, love the introduction of Grover as Percy and him being friends, which you felt that on
Yes.
how much you felt betrayed when Grover's like, "Oh, I come from the demigods from Greek mythology," and when you see his feet, I love the CGI on it because you can barely tell with CGI.
Right. And I really did like you actually felt like they were friends. I like that. You know, as in the movie, you just kind of felt like he was kind of forced to be there. It was weird. They didn't actually seem like they were like good friends. But my like kind of good favorite scene was when they were fighting the Minotaur. You know, I
The
thought
end,
that fight.
yes.
I thought that
was
fight
cool.
was very well done. You know, those were one of the fight scenes that I really liked and enjoyed. You know, because I know that the fight scene wasn't very long in the book, and so it was quick. It was exactly what I remember. Percy cutting off the horn, getting knocked off, and then stabbing him with the horn. The only thing I do think I remember is I thought he remembered he keeps the horn, but then like I don't in the show I don't know if he kept it. Because didn't he like use it for something later on?
I think they did keep the horn.
Did
if
they?
I remember.
I wonder because I know that horn came
I
in
don't think they
handy.
used.
I was gonna say I do believe they used it though in the books at some point. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I should actually go back and read. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a
Or
sign.
maybe not, because in the second episode when he's in the camp, what is it, Clarice?
Yeah.
I was asking proof of Percy, like, you should just tell everyone you didn't kill the Minotaur, even though Grover saw it and the principal saw it, which I like that the teacher from who was in a wheelchair was a half horse, half human person
Yeah. The
who was also a
centaur
camp leader.
or whatever they're
Yeah, I
called.
like that. They added that twist where like Percy can have still someone from the real world and also who's an adult could go to for advice.
Yes.
So adding that purview that he respects him, and you feel that respect too.
You
That he came
do.
up to him. And
And that's where my other favorite character, and I forget his name, but the second counselor, the one that they called him Peter.
Oh yeah, I think I know. Oh, what's his name?
I forget his name,
Oh,
but
he's so funny.
he's so funny. Um, it's he was casted well, you know, and it brought some comedic humor to the first couple episodes that we needed. In he was part of the reason why I enjoyed the show, for sure.
Jason Mantzukas.
That's right. And he was,
Yeah, he's done a lot of comedy roles, and you know what? That fits him so well.
and it was just his introduction was so funny. Uh, on to
He's like, "You're
like
my father."
on to like more of the
Yes.
quest part now. So like when he was going to take on Medusa, how did you feel about that? How did you feel about that episode?
Episode 3, I love that part. Also, probably my favorite episode because it has one of my favorite actresses, Jessica Kennedy Parker.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's
She's
very fair.
that's
She played that role, ate up her scenes, and just left like a boss.
no that whole episode I enjoyed a lot. I like the fact that the monster was afraid to go in. They were kind of. I just kind of wish the fight was a little bit longer with Medusa. They kind of killed
Well,
her kind of quick.
they killed her off so quick.
Like,
She's
bro,
like, she bent over, Annabeth just cut her head, and that was it.
that was it. Like, come on.
Was
Like, this
what
girl has
what?
been around for so long. She has so many strong, powerful people stoned. And you're telling me these kids knocked her out in 5 seconds?
Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
it.
isn't that usually how it goes, though?
No, at least they get beat up at least a little bit.
In the movie, they get for a little bit longer.
You know, they like,
In Greek mythology, it's usually when they are kids is when they over like OP for some odd reason.
yeah,
That
but
is
That's how I
true.
still.
perceive it.
They do mention that at the end of the season.
I
That
bet
they're
you, I
that
bet you, if the motherfuckers was teenagers or adults, they would have been struggling with Medusa. But just because they was kids, like you said,
and you see that's what happens when we have something to compare with. Like if the movie never came out and this is what we had, we would have like this would have been good. But since we have the movie and this, we're like some aspects of the movie I like better. The action scenes, I like the story better in the show. Now next season, if there is a next
Agreed.
season, they could just kind of blend the action and more adventure and in episode okay, let's continue episode 2, especially with Percy getting training kind of
Yes, yes, yes,
in
yes.
that big battle and
And
him
the
kind
flag,
of
capture the flag.
noticing yeah, yeah, capture flag and him activating his powers for the second or third time
I think it was third time.
because the first one was in the toilet in the very beginning of the episode of that episode, yeah, and maybe during the first episode
Oh, so there was only.
when
It might have been only the second time.
yeah, second and third time. I think second time, but yeah, when he controlled Clarice or Annabeth, or when he was stuck in the water levitating, which that scene was not that good in CGI.
No,
Which
it's
I think,
horrible.
which I think me and you were like, that's not good.
No, yeah, we both were like the trident, all of it. It just didn't.
Didn't look good. Didn't look good.
It was disgusting. It was disgusting.
But episode 3, Medusa. I love that they made her whole front yard just full of statues.
It was all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Her
she
whole
has
front
all of
yard
these
just
people full of statues,
I like that.
and like all
Uh,
of these powerful people. But like I said, these kids killed her in 5 seconds. It does not make sense. I don't know.
But I did like that Medusa was just manipulating Percy a tiny bit. I knew Annabeth's mother. I knew Percy's mother. I knew someone's gonna betray you. You're the lightning thief. No, you're this, and just pulling Percy
And then
like from different
almost got him in too. Like
corners.
like that. I did like that a lot. You know, I guess maybe that was
And
kind of more of the trapping him in, and then they realized type shit. You know what I mean? But
and also make for her making the food for the characters too, the cookies, the food, and it's just like when someone makes you food, you're like, it could be a trap or it could be like they might be helping.
but
And that's why I like the episode where it's not just a physical warfare. You got to have sometimes a mental warfare with characters,
I
and when
thought,
you have a mental warfare with,
and I also thought it was great that they sent Medusa's head to the gods.
hmm
That was crazy.
and and it does come back
It
eventually.
does, yeah, yeah. We'll get into
Come back
that.
eventually.
Episode
Yeah,
4, when they went to St. Louis and they needed
and,
they trying to get help from Annabeth's mom.
yeah,
That was when they were
the
in the ark, yeah, and
art.
the fucking beast came out of him. I really liked that scene. I really liked the effects on the monster. The fire looked kind of weird. I'll agree, but if you remember
Uh,
it,
for fire effect goes, not bad for indoors.
yeah,
It
yeah.
could have been more. It was too red. Um, in my opinion, when you do fire, you add more yellow. 'Cause most fires aren't red; they're yellow, mostly yellow and a little bit black outlines. It was too much red and too much black outlines.
But I think that my favorite part is a kind of a coming up age of Percy of trying to sacrifice himself for his friends or his so
Ooh,
unquote questmates. It really kind of showed you in like 4 episodes how much someone has kind of grown in character development. Although I'll say the way he did it was kind of childish, kind of weird, kind of felt. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean?
I will say this Percy kid, does he just have a death wish? Because the whole season, he's just like, I'll sacrifice myself. Any opportunity, I'll sacrifice myself.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
just wants to die. The man's a yeah, living fucking Ragnar. He wants to summon Ragnar, that
Big Robert,
motherfucker. The
stopper.
Apostapa, bro. No,
yeah,
this
and
man
then
throws himself in the middle of everything, and it's, I kind of fuck with
uh,
it.
well, and I can
But
understand
that,
from his point of view
what
because
if
he
that's
got
how he
poisoned
level
by
up?
no, unfortunately not. Because that
That's not
chimera
how that
poisoned
works.
dude. Not
No, I'm
I haven't
saying
read the book.
if it's in like Greek mythology, I ain't trying to be. I swear I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean, don't they have to like constantly keep like being into action and stuff, or they'll like die from being inactive? Ain't that how the god system works?
I have no clue.
I have no,
I'm just asking,
I
man.
have
Look,
no idea, brother. If someone can let us know in the comments,
I'm
please let
trying,
us know.
I'm trying to get into it like how y'all is, man. I thought they had to stay active.
No. But him personally
Yeah.
being poisoned by the chimera, and then him kind of just falling to his death, kind of at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
The way
definitely.
So
to
was he immortal or was he like
No, so
no.
that's where
So
we're gonna get into episode 5, the beginning and
it,
kind of the middle of it,
oh
where
oh
is
I
that
asked too early. Okay. Okay.
so yeah, episode 5. I thought this
Go.
episode was like mid as fuck. I did not really enjoy it. You know, I thought 6, 7, and 8 were a lot better, but number 5, they found Percy. He was alive because the water fucking like came up and saved him or whatever. Um, and they're walking down the highway and they run into Ares, and Ares is like,
very
"You need to go get my shield, and then I will give you guys the path to the underworld." Uh,
um Ares, very cool character. I like his demeanor,
Very cool
and
character, very good acting on Ares. I thought.
yeah, and I believe, what is the episode 5? Hephaestus. The
Yeah,
actor who played him, Timothy something, Timothy Amundsen. I like when he plays characters. That's probably his weakest role to in my memory that he's ever played.
yeah. I didn't like I'm saying. This episode wasn't very good. It just seems.
Forgettable. The
Go on.
only memorable part was just when Ares and Grover were just talking. I think that was probably my
that
favorite
was
part.
that's literally like him then just smashing
That
food and
was
them just talking. That literally was probably yeah. I'd
yeah.
have to agree.
And then Grover kind of piecing things together too. I like that. That
Like
Grover isn't just and also what I like is Grover getting that confidence in him too.
that's literally the only good in this episode. Like everything else was trash. The way they got the shield, how they got him back, everything trash. But
Oh, and
Trash.
I also want to mention I feel bad for Grover because his uncle died by Medusa, and we found out in episode 3.
yes,
Yeah,
RIP, RIP, my brother. Um,
yeah,
all right.
yeah. But episode 5, I agree, it's very forgettable, and episode 6, kinda too.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think I did. The only reason why I liked it was because of the like what they learned at the end of it. And it might
True.
sound a little bit cliche as fuck for me to say it too, but like they realize they can't do it. They can't split up. They can't be alone. Like what the fuck are they doing? Like they can't do this
Uh,
quest by themselves, and you know that's where I think they all three of them put their personal vendettas away just to finish this quest, and that's why leading into the seventh and eighth episode, there was good episodes. Um,
yeah.
but
Uh, but my I want to say my two favorite scenes with them being kind of like obsessed in the casino, kind of their version of drunk without saying they're drunk, and also them learning how to drive.
yes, that driving scene
That's
was funny. I've done this
yeah.
before.
That's all I remember from the episode. You know why? As soon as I watched it, I fell asleep, and I'm like, I don't remember the drunk scene, kind of, and them riding the taxi. That's it, unfortunately.
That's fucking funny. Well, one and number seven, where they meet Serbius and Hades, and
Hades, I love the whole introduction of them going to the gates, them meeting the dog, and them saying, I've met a dog like this. And then to Grover lose a pearl to go back home. And then the shoes, the winged shoes that was supposed to be helping them, kind of pull them to the little big
Tartarus.
wormhole.
It's called Tartarus.
Tartarus.
Yes, going to
Tartarus.
the deeps underground, where Kronos is, which we'll get into. Spoiler.
Yeah.
But no, number
And
seven. It was
then
like I said. The number seven was a phenomenal episode.
and then for them to learn that Percy had the lightning thief and going like, what's actually going on?
And
And then
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
them to meeting Hades and Hades like, here's your mom, give me my little helmet, I believe.
Yeah, they call it the helm. Hades'
The
helm.
helm. Yeah, and Percy's like, don't you want the lightning bolt? I'm like, I don't want the lightning bolt. I'm like, whatever my family has to do with their drama, I'm like, I don't want no part of it. I just want my helm.
Bro, that shit had me so shook. And then he was like, "You give me my
I was
helm back." And
laughing.
then he's like, "Wait, no, Kronos wants this." And then he's like, "Wait, no,
Give me
actually,
that.
give me the Master Bolt." Actually, you said Kronos,
Yeah,
yeah.
if
No, give me the Master Bolt.
if they're gonna go to war, like I want to prepare myself at least. I want to, some razzle dazzle
Facts.
to have the most powerful weapon.
Uh, I thought Hades' character was played very well as well. The actor for Hades was very well played. Um, no, it was a very solid episode. Like I said, the effects, the scenery, everything about episode seven was good. And then going into like the flashbacks, showing Percy's mom kind of going through it with Percy. They can't get into schools, and then Poseidon finally showing up in it, talking to his mom. I thought all that was amazing.
Mhm.
I thought it was good. I thought it was needed for setting up a final, which was a decent semi. It was a good final, but like it could have been better. And let's actually get into it. The number eight, the final. It dropped, yesterday.
Right?
We're recording this on the 31st of January,
Yesterday,
and it dropped on the 30th.
the day after.
And everything's pretty fresh. I thought the fight scene with Ares was good. I thought I could have been a little bit longer though. It could have been a little bit better.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that fight scene, love it. That's where I am meant cinematography for the backdrop, where the sun is barely raising. It's that bright orange reflecting on the wet sand. Percy on one side, Ares on one side. Ares is just like he's afraid of the war too, and he loves war, but he's more afraid of Kronos.
exactly. That's why he's
And
trying
we
to
get
side with him,
thrown. We
which is kind of crazy.
and and then Percy doing his move like he did in the movie, commanding a tidal wave, and that's pretty much
That's
all the
pretty
fighting that's
pretty much
in
it.
the
Then he wins,
episode
slices.
until his thigh. No, not his thigh. His leg.
Yeah, it was leg. It was like his ankle. Like
Yeah,
sliced it up. Which the bleeding
and
gold was
considering,
cool.
yeah, I will say for a guy who loves war, he got bested by a kid, man. These gods get
That's
bested
what
by
I'm
kids.
saying. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
But they did mention in the same episode that by Luke, we get a Luke back in the episode.
We do get Luke
Uh,
back
I yeah, I have comments at the end when we're all done
when we
talking
get to
about this
there.
episode.
Yeah, let's go into
Uh,
where he went to Olympus, though. R.I.P. Lance Reddick. He
oh
played a phenomenal Zeus, I thought, and
man,
oh my god,
this
that it's so sad that we're not going to get any more of him.
I will say what's his last name? I forget.
Reddick, I think.
Reddick.
Yeah,
Lance Reddick, man, he could pull off a suit, man.
that's
He
what.
him being man, him and John, in the John Wick movies, he's always my favorite character. And for him to play Zeus and kind of maybe his final role as
Yeah,
kind of
no,
like
that's what they said.
a
This is
hero.
his final live action role.
Okay, for him to play kind of like this, like maybe hero, maybe not, like in the middle ground of like I kind of want the war, but like I have to instill fear in everybody, but I kind of want the war to uphold my title.
Right.
I kind of like that, and I like the mysteries of him, like just like you don't know if he's good or bad. And for like he was saying to Percy, like when I say something, you go, unless you want to die,
And then was going to
because
kill him,
and I was gonna
Yep.
kill him. The came in and said, "I surrender."
which was like, I was like, oh
Which,
shit.
but my thing is, him and Poseidon had a little fight, a little squabble, and then he could have been like, "I surrender."
I agree.
'Cause
They
that
could have
would have
fought
been
a
a
little
cool.
bit.
Yeah, they could have fought a little bit, and then the big celebration. The war has stopped. They go back home. They go back to camp. Well, not home. They go back to camp. And all the help gets returned to Hades,
Yeah,
right?
Hades. They
For his
came and
mom,
picked.
yeah.
Yeah, someone of the people came and picked it up.
So yeah, that happened. And then in that episode, you get flashbacks to Luke training Percy, which would have been good to have before.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh, and also Luke him talking, kind of planning how to trap Clarice to get evidence against Clarice because everyone thinks she stole the lightning bolt. For then to turn around and Luke to be the one who stole the lightning bolt and to team up with Kronos.
Which is
That was
it's a twist, you know. You know.
it's a twist. It's a twist because I saw the movies. I kind of knew that was going to happen, but it is so underdeveloped.
100%. Uh,
Underdeveloped.
they could have added more into the relationship with him and Luke, to make it feel uh, a little bit
Like
more
friendly.
heartfelt and friendly. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Because we get him in episode 2, then they go to the quest. In episode 3, they kind of meet up. He gives a shoes to Percy, and then they kind of go away. And then he has a phone call with Percy, so he kind of has like 2 appearances, a cameo, and the final appearance from the season.
Yeah,
And for Kronos to come back to Percy's dream, telling him it's not over. And then Percy and his mom are going to adventures. The camp is over. Annabeth is going to go travel with her father, I think.
yeah.
Visit New York. Grover is going to be traveling to see more worlds, he says.
He's gonna go find Pan.
Pan. Okay, so he's going to go find Pan. And Percy and his mom go to do more adventures. Maybe find more hidden objects. Maybe more training. So when next season comes, we get kind of a maybe an Arrow situation where they do flashbacks and kind of like the main storyline,
Yeah.
which will be cool.
Um, from my knowledge, hopefully going into like in season 2, if we get one, they'll. Uh, this is where they'll fight Kronos, actually, I believe, and so hopefully they can depict that very well. Because the book number, I gotta go back and reread the books, but I know the books are fire, you know. So And I know there's a lot of them now, so I have plenty to read. But overall, it was a solid watch. I do recommend it to someone. Go watch it. It's just a good watch. It's not like a great show. It's a good show. 7.5 out of 10. That's my overall rating. I think that was Kevo's rating too. 7.5, 8 out of 10, somewhere around there. And Kel's still
Yeah.
gonna watch it. So
No, now that I know that you signed in to the Disney Plus, I can watch it.
so
I'm gonna try to
Uh,
since we do it in a week, I'm gonna try to watch like 2 episodes per day. And by next week, I could give my opinion on it. Although I still wouldn't really know like too much about it anyway, because I don't know like the overall story of it. Because I know it's like a lot more to it than just that. But
well, you won't.
I'll
Yeah,
at
you
least
can
be
still
able
learn
to.
like
I'll at least
it
be
still
able
shows
to.
you a lot.
Yeah, I'll still be able to chop it up with y'all next one.
But
but the show needs a little bit more action. I don't mind talking, but there has to be more action in some scenes. Because most of the time they're just talking, and I don't mind a show that does talk. I like Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is mostly talking. Jimmy being a lawyer, being stressed,
right,
but they need action for an action adventure movie. There was barely any action, so the
yeah,
action
I don't
needs
agree.
to go more up.
A lot of adventures though.
Uh, yeah, there's a lot of adventure, and I would say maybe next season they need to. I didn't mind the world hopping, but I think them hopping around didn't help them either.
No,
No, which that's gonna happen in the book, which granted that's fine. Um, but maybe they could stay in one location for more than one episode. Because the camp, I like the camp. I wish we got more of the camp
yeah, I wish we got more of the camp too.
because we got Poseidon's camp, cool to see, and then it's gone.
It's gone. You
We
don't see it
never see it
again.
again.
It's unfortunate.
No, which is unfortunate. So, for the people who make the sets, I hope there's more set pieces. Maybe like maybe we'll get more into Luke next season, but like I really didn't care for it. I mean, he was cool
I
with
have to
Percy, but
agree.
like yeah, but if he was more in the episodes, and maybe when Percy's traveling in the world, I mean when Percy was traveling, we get flashbacks to him and Luke training, like in between the episodes. That would have been cool. Then when the twist comes, it would hit harder. But I mean, the twist didn't hit as hard.
No, it didn't. But I think that's going to be it for our Percy Jackson review. I do appreciate you
Mhm.
guys coming out and watching this episode. And like I said, stay tuned for the anime episode as well. That should be dropping later this week. Thank you guys, and have a good. You know what? You fill it in the blanks. Peace.
Bye.